Imagine a high-profile footballer, once gracing the pitches of major clubs, now standing trial for what prosecutors describe as crossing a dangerous threshold, from expressing bold opinions online to committing outright offenses. This gripping case involving Joey Barton raises critical questions about the limits of free speech in the digital age, and it's one that might just make you rethink how we police our words on social media. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a necessary crackdown on harassment, or an attack on personal expression that could chill open dialogue? Join me as we unpack the details of this unfolding drama, explaining the legal nuances in simple terms for beginners, and exploring why this trial could reshape how we view online accountability. At the heart of the matter is Joey Barton, a 43-year-old former professional footballer with a reputation for pulling no punches. During his career, he racked up over 400 appearances for 6 different clubs and even earned a brief 11-minute cameo for the England national team in a friendly match. Yet, off the field, Barton's vocal criticism of women's roles in football and his disdain for what he sees as declining standards in the sport have made him a polarizing figure. Now, he's facing 12 charges of sending grossly offensive electronic communications with the intent to cause distress or anxiety. These alleged offenses stem from posts on X, formerly known as Twitter, between January and March 2024, targeting female pundits Lucy Ward and Eni Aluko, as well as broadcaster Jeremy Vine. Prosecutor Peter Wright KC, opening the case on Monday at Liverpool Crown Court, painted a picture of Barton as a social media powerhouse. With over 2 million followers on X, Barton frequently shared content that's sharp, sarcastic, controversial, and unapologetically direct. Think biting commentary that often challenges societal norms. Wright emphasized that freedom of expression is a cornerstone of our society, allowing people to voice opinions that might be cutting, shocking, or even rude, as long as they align with the values of an open, fair, multiracial, equal, and diverse community. For beginners wondering about this, it's like walking a tightrope. You can speak your mind, but there's an invisible line where words become weapons, potentially causing real harm and crossing into illegal territory. But here's the part most people miss. Wright argued that Barton's posts went far beyond that acceptable boundary, violating societal tolerances and transforming free speech into criminal acts on 12 separate occasions. Barton, who has pleaded not guilty to all charges, is accused of deliberately aiming to upset and alarm his targets through these messages. One particularly striking example occurred after an FA Cup match on January 17, 2024, between Crystal Palace and Everton, where Ward and Aluko served as pundits. Barton posted that the duo were the Fred and Rose West of commentary, referencing the infamous British serial killers, and claimed Aluko's presence was solely due to her race, merely to tick boxes for diversity quotas. To drive the point home, he shared an edited image superimposing Ward and Aluko's faces onto the West's bodies. This isn't just name-calling, it's a direct assault on their professional credibility, and for those new to these terms, serial killers like the Wests represent some of the darkest chapters in criminal history, so likening pundits to them evokes extreme horror and judgment. The situation escalated when Jeremy Vine, the broadcaster, expressed concern about Barton's behavior in a post. This drew Barton's ire, leading to a barrage of attacks. Barton questioned if Vine had been to Epstein Island, a sly nod to conspiracy theories surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's ties to powerful figures and child exploitation scandals, and warned he'd call the police if he spotted Vine near a primary school on his bike. He even posted an image of Vine with the caption, "If you see this fella by a primary school, call 999. And if that wasn't enough, Barton labeled Vine a bike nonce, a derogatory slang term implying pedophilia. These jabs are loaded with implications of criminal wrongdoing, potentially spreading harmful rumors and inciting fear, which highlights the real-world dangers of unchecked online rhetoric. And this is the part that sparks heated debate. In an era where social media amplifies voices instantly, should platforms or laws step in to curb such content, or does that risk silencing legitimate criticism? As the trial progresses, it's worth considering Barton's broader context. His outspoken views on female participation in football, often arguing that quality and merit should trump diversity initiatives, have fueled ongoing discussions about gender equality in sports. Critics might argue his posts reflect a deeper frustration with industry changes, but detractors see them as rooted in bias. This case isn't isolated, it echoes broader societal tensions where online trolls can weaponize words, especially against women and minorities in public spaces. For instance, similar controversies have arisen with athletes or celebrities facing backlash for off-the-cuff remarks, reminding us that fame doesn't exempt anyone from consequences. What do you make of this? Is Barton being unfairly targeted for expressing unpopular opinions, or is this a justified defense against cyberbullying? Could stricter social media regulations protect vulnerable groups without stifling free speech? And here's a provocative twist to ponder: if everyone has the right to offend, as long as it's not criminal, where exactly do we draw that line in our increasingly polarized world? Share your perspectives in the comments. Do you agree with the prosecution's stance, or do you see this as a slippery slope toward censorship? Let's discuss.